Hello everybody, welcome back to another stretching video. Today we are starting standing. So I need you to either place a barbell onto a rig like so, about low rib to waist hip height-ish, depending on how flexible you are. Or if you're at home, you can use a countertop or anything that is around the right height. So we're gonna start with our right leg, just to kind of switch it up and do something different. Now this is obviously something I am used to. This resembles a bar from the dance world. So I'm gonna toss my leg up there. If you don't have shoes on, you can put a little bit of padding under your heel, but I'm just trying to get to that kind of soft, squishy part by my Achilles tendon, and that's relatively pain-free. So I want you to start with some rotations here through your hips. I'm opening through my hips and then squaring my hips off. Opening and squaring. And that feels really good. I'm able to kind of sense the attachments all the way up by my hamstring, especially when I pull into that square position. I think my outer hamstring head is the most tight because I'm a little more flexible open than I am square. So after a few of those, I want you to settle into your square position and start leaning over. Now, like we discussed yesterday, I would rather you lean over with a flat back. So for me, this is actually this is a little high of a bar. So I'm gonna lift up first, really flat back, and then try to hinge at my hips. I'm already feeling a ton of stretch here, as opposed to leaning forward like that. Does that make sense? So really lift up tall, even if you're just standing straight, like a string is lifting out of the top of your head, hold there, and then start to hinge at your hips. If you wanna reach your hands out and grab your foot, use the assistance of your arms and pull yourself in. That's good too. I just did the workout from Monday on the app and I'm feeling kind of swole, so I hope it's paying off on the camera right now. No, I'm totally kidding, but I'm feeling pretty warm from that, so hopefully my muscles are gonna be extra open today. Take some nice deep breaths. Your goal is to flatten and pancake your body forward over your leg. It's easier said than done. I find that with the leg elevated at this angle, it is a little easier to drop my body, but it does intensify the pull. So hang out there. We're gonna practice our good breathing. If you can find a static position with your head dropped and your eyes closed, even better. Arms can reach forward. Again, you're trying to lengthen and flatten your body. Oh, there we go, over the leg. So a few deep breaths here. I would encourage you not to let that back hip kind of sag open. Try to keep it square. It's gonna be a little more sound for your stretch. One deep breath. So we're gonna roll it up. You're gonna square yourself off to your bar or your kitchen countertop, wherever you're at. Make sure your standing leg has a little bit of rotation so that your hip can drop in and down. You sort of want that hip socket to stay dropped. So you're gonna take a few of those kind of pop and wiggles again too, just to ensure that this hip is settled into that hip socket and we don't try to stretch over the leg with this, nice cheek hanging out. So tuck that away, put it away, tuck it under, and then we're gonna take our side stretch up and over. Now this, with the leg elevated, I love this stretch because of that pushing feeling that your femur gets to have into your hip socket. You're not just leaning over, you're pushing down through that hip and leaning over to the side. Now, if you are a little bendier and your leg is higher, you can try to grab that opposite foot and tuck your shoulder through. Really good stretch for your lat and through that whole side of your body. Sorry I'm facing away from you. This was the best angle I could figure out. So hopefully you can hear me. A few nice deep breaths. Pull yourself in if you can. Otherwise, just reach all the way across. Energy active through those fingers. Come all the way up. You're gonna mobilize your ribcage a little bit more by going the other way. Make sure you don't, stick your butt out. Again, keep those ribs in and down. Lean over. I feel this mostly just through the top few ribs. A little bit of length through that hip as well. And all the way over. Dropping that hip. Now this one's kind of tricky. You want to flex your foot and drop your back knee. So you rotate. The trick here, and I'm not super open in this position, so we'll see, is to tuck your hips under and almost hinge back. So if you feel too much like this, you probably need to drop your bar. And if you're on a harder surface, it's a little more challenging to do with your foot flat. Try to hook your foot over some sort of surface here. Tuck your hips under and try to lean back. Something that accentuates this is an arm or both arms up, reaching. It's almost like a standing version, a little more active standing version of that couch stretch that Kevin showed us with the knee and the foot against the wall. So just a little stretch back here. Reach, 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 a little bit of back bend. Hold, hold, hold. And open. So we're gonna go ahead and take the other side. So toss your leg up. I'll just turn around like this. And you're gonna start twisting those hips around again. Square, and then open. And square, this should just feel awesome. Feels pretty awesome. Open. My hip is so close to popping. Square, open, and then hold it square. Again, you're trying to just lift and flatten through your back. I'm feeling this already, but I'm gonna start to take myself forward in that little bit of a hinge. Breathing, waiting for your muscles to open up. Maybe you're a little more sensitive to that muscular response by now. You're able to know when to push a little deeper and when to back off. I think that's a very good thing to be able to know how to do. Easing it forward. Even if I start to round my back here, I can still focus on lengthening once I'm down there and then re-squaring my hips. Those little adjustments make a huge difference. A few more breaths. Try to let the weight of your body, especially your head, take you down. Static stretch. We want to hold just a little bit longer. You can always massage those fibers back there. We're just trying to give you new ways to stretch the same muscles, if you've noticed. So hamstrings, inner thighs, hips, hip flexors, all that jazz. Just new and different ways. Come all the way up. We're gonna take a little turn, square your hips off, tuck your butt under, put it away, and then take a big stretch over. Woo. Giving your body some time to open up. And if you're a little more bendy, you can grab. Actually, quite a bit tighter on this side. Up and over. You can grab your toes, your ankle, or just keep that active reach. A few breaths here to open out those ribs. And then open. So keeping your waistline lifted, keep your butt squeezed a little bit. Try not to pop your hip open. Up and over we go to the other side. This is just an upper rib cage stretch. Really good for the lat and the shoulder. And up. So we're gonna take that rotation. Now I can face you again. Hello. Hook your foot. Try to drop that foot, that back knee parallel. You're gonna tuck under and hinge back. This side feels a lot better. I know I'm not completely parallel in that back knee, but that feels really, really good on my hip flexor right there. So you can go more parallel. For me, more parallel in this case is getting it into my back, and I don't want to feel it in my back. So I'm trying to pull up through my low abs, tuck and hinge at the hips, and feel that stretch to the hip flexors. Arm up, back we go. Reach, reach, reach. Even if you feel like you're reaching and struggling, the effort is still going in the right direction. So keep pressing, keep reaching. Every little bit of practice and momentum really counts, so don't discredit that. And then come out. Woo. Take that leg off, give yourself a little shake, and we're gonna come down to the floor. We're gonna take our forward fold, hug yourself in, test out those hamstrings. They should be a little bit looser from that standing stretch. So we're gonna go for gold here right away. Walking those hands out, throwing the right leg forward, hitting a brief lunge. I'm gonna take 2 positions before we get right into those splits. So little opportunity for your lunge, but my hip flex is already feeling pretty open. And then pressing up to your little triangle stretch, straight legs, squaring everything off. Give yourself 1 moment here to stretch anything else that you feel like you need for today. So for instance, my hip flexors are feeling pretty open, but kind of that outer head of the hamstring is feeling tight, so I wanna really square and kind of spend a little more time into that hamstring. And then we're just gonna go for a split, okay? Working towards that goal. So any modifications that you've been using on the way, don't be afraid to take them here. I'm gonna take my own pants off. Coming down, so supporting yourself with yoga blocks, taking that yoga block or foam roller under your front leg for some support. Really good options. Ease yourself down. Square, placed, upright in your body. So today I want to work a little more on breathing as we stay here for a little bit of a static split. We're going to stay for about a minute. Wherever you are, I want you to focus on your own leg, focus internally in your own body, and we're going to take some deep breaths together. Inhale, in through your nose and out through your mouth. Doesn't have to be big and dramatic, but nice full breaths. Inhale and exhale. Feel your breath being circular here. Inhale, going all the way through your body, and then out through your mouth. Exhale. Out through your mouth. Any progressions that you want to take here, be my guest. Otherwise, just stay exactly where you are. Focus on your breathing. So today, rather than going into an oversplit, I'm just going to focus on really keeping those hips square as I've been doing. I'm going to work on coming up a little more upright this time. So pushing, adding a little pressure to that front leg. You're ready for that. Trying to keep those hips and the pelvis upright. One more set of breaths. Inhale and exhale. And release. Now gently, even if you're up, set yourself on your far hip and roll. We're just gonna visit our middle split. Say good morning, hello, good evening, good night. Whenever you're stretching today, take a little lean forward, hands, elbows, or pancake. Okay, a few breaths here and then we'll hit that other side. And that'll be it for today. Hopefully you've made some good progress so far. Progress in anything is so exciting. I love challenges. They're my fave. Because it's fun to see progress and see fruits of your labor. All right, one more breath here in the center. Inhale, exhale. And roll it up. Oh, take those legs together. And we'll start on the other side. So I'm gonna come up here. I'm gonna throw my leg forward to a little lunge. Say hello to that other hip. Sorry, my shirt's kind of in the way. Forward, back, testing your body parts here. What's sore, what's tight, what needs a little extra love. You can always stay in your lunge a little longer, but I'm going to take it to our little parallel triangle stretch. Hands can come down. I'm going to square a little deeper into that position. Hold, hold, hold. I'm going to also drop my hands just a little deeper. All right, so if you need anything more in this position or your lunge, go ahead and take it now. Give it a few more seconds before we slide out into that split. And out we go. Nice and steady, nice and slow. Some days I just slide down there, and some other days I'm like every inch feels a little bit different. So go at your own pace, easing your way down. Focusing on the things that you've noticed. So if you record yourself, one perk to recording these videos is I'm able to see things in my own form, my own stretching that help me. So I recommend filming yourself for anything that you're doing, not just to post it on Instagram, although that's always nice, but just to get an idea of what you're doing, because sometimes the way it feels is totally different than what you're actually doing. All right, so when you're feeling like you're sort of in the depth of the split that you want to hold, we'll count our minute from about here. Make sure we get lots of time. Focus yourself inside your body, or you can just stare at your leg a little bit. Deep breaths. Inhale through your nose, and exhale through your mouth. Again, nice deep breaths. Inhale, and exhale. Making those small adjustments wherever you need to. Inhale. And exhale. Ooh, I got a little bit of release there in that back leg. Finding those progressions wherever you need them. This is my worst side, but I'm trying to get up a little higher. Push yourself Always kind of flirting with that edge of like, oh, it hurts so good. It hurts a little bit, feels really nice. We'll stay for one more breath. How about that? Then we'll finish it out. Big breath in. Last little release, melt those legs apart. Sink your hip down, your back hip. We'll just gather those legs, take a butterfly position to finish, to open your hips. If you stayed very long yesterday in that straddle position, I know your hips felt that. I was hobbling a little bit, getting out of that banded position. So make sure you take care of the muscles surrounding. I'm gonna take a little butterfly, stretching into each knee, just briefly. Hinge forward, give me a little bit of time here, nose to knees. And grab the back of your head for me. Hands on the back of your head and just draw your chin to your chest. Nice deep breath here. If you can push your head a little bit up against your hands while you're down there, even better for neck stretch. Big breath. And roll it up. Give yourselves a shoulder roll. Nice job. We only have 2 more days after this, so I hope you're sticking it out with us. This is so much fun to do with you guys. So thanks to every single one of you for putting in the work. Hard work always pays off. See you next time. Bye.